Hello everybody, Sean here, and we're taking a look at the final boss for Dark Souls 3, the Soul of Cinder, the representation of all the souls that have been committed to the kiln. And before we even get into things, when you walk into the arena for this boss, you pass through the fog door. You'll notice the boss doesn't move, so take the time to go through the door and then cast any buffing spells you want to cast, because it'll give you a few more seconds of those spells being active. It seems like a little thing, but it can add up in the long run. Now, the first phase of the fight should just be treated like a normal knight-style fight. He primarily is just going to use a bunch of sword swings, slashes, thrusts. So if you just dodge and use your shield to tank through them, it shouldn't be that difficult at this point in the game, because you've encountered many knights on your journey, and you know what to do when you see someone swinging a sword at you. Now, there's two things to keep in mind. One, he can use pyromancy, and the further away you are from him, the more distance you create, the more likely he is to use pyromancy. It can be fireballs, toxic clouds, whatever he wants. He has access to virtually every spell in the category. The other thing to keep in mind is that he can change the shape of his weapon, which you see right here. It started out as a long sword and is now a curved sword. Although that's not a big deal, it shouldn't really change how you fight him in a close quarter combat situation, or even as a mage. It is something to be aware of, because if he changes his weapon and he starts doing more thrusting attacks, then thrusting attacks can be a little more deadly to someone who, say, is relying on backpedaling and rolling away from his attacks. But if you get through that section of the fight, you chop him down, he kneels down and gets back up, because of course there's a second phase, and he gets a new powerful attack that you just saw right there. Along with that, you'll notice his sword is now a very large flaming sword. It will no longer change shape, but it is always going to be buffed in fire, so from here on, it's not going to be simply physical damage, but it's going to be quite a bit of fire damage as well. Also, he's going to use a lot more magic. Even if you're in melee combat, he's still going to use a lot more magic during the fight. And of course, if you're in a mage, or if you're doing range combat, you're going to see a lot of spells being thrown in this fight now. They're going to lean more towards miracles at this point, a lot of lightning, sunlight spears, lightning stakes, that sort of thing. So you will need to practice dodging those spells, but at least they are a little easier to dodge than, say, these huge combos that just annihilate your health. Now, as we pointed out, his biggest new threat for melee characters is, of course, that combo. We don't suggest trying to tank through it. It's not pretty, and you've seen me get hit by it twice, and I'm going to make the foolish mistake of trying to punish him for doing it later on, and we'll point that out. But the reason you don't want to try to tank through it is due to the overwhelming amount of hits. Even if you have an ultra great shield, it's very likely the amount of hits in that combo will manage to stagger you, and it's not going to end well for you if you just try to tank through it. So try to get out of the way. If you can dodge the first swing of the combo, the rest of it likely won't hit you, and you'll be home free. Now, the reason why we said you also don't want to try to punish the combo is because as a melee character, your instincts are, well, he's swinging like crazy in front of him, that means I can get behind him and hit him. Well, the end of the combo is a huge AoE, and you're going to see right here, as he goes to finish the combo, I go in for the hit, and I get punished for it. So keep that in mind. As a mage, though, that combo is excellent for you to hit him multiple times. Now, obviously, he's not going to use that combo unless you're in close quarters situations with him, but if you're a more aggressive style mage, someone who's maybe using Soul Greatsword for the majority of the fight, then getting him to do that combo and forcing him to miss it opens you up for a great opportunity to get attacks in. Otherwise, this fight's just going to be a matter of trial and error. You got to get those dodge timings down, but once you do, you're going to breeze through the fight, no problem. And just be mindful of the many magical spells he has at his disposal. But there we go. That is the Soul of Cinder, the final boss in Dark Souls 3. I thank you for watching, and we'll see everyone next time.